Welcome back on the AM show. It's a holiday, and I'm coming into your homes with my blunt thoughts. Today, I've titled them, A Forced Haircut, A New Pipe Dream, and a Cycle of Wastage. Ghana on the ropes, of course, like a boxer who is actually getting knocked out. So what do I have to share with you this morning, Ghana, for? Since today is Founders Day, let me start off with the Osadefo, only fitting on a day like this, right? Kwame Nkrumah, during the struggle for independence, once said, and I quote him, "And across the parapet, I see the mother of Africa, unity and independence, her body smeared with the blood of her sons and daughters in their struggle to see her free from the shackles of imperialism. And I could see and hear springing up cities of Ghana, becoming the metropolis of science, learning, scientific agriculture, and philosophy. And I hear the mortals resound the echo and the rejoinder. Seek ye first the political kingdom, and all the rest shall be added unto it." Yet the political kingdom of which Nkrumah so passionately spoke has been lost to charlatans, vile and greedy politicians whose only God is themselves and whose only oblation or sacrifice are their people. They rob the poor, squeezing them with burdensome taxes. They feed fat off the most vulnerable. They ride in lavish cars and purchase the plushest of real estate. They are nothing less than political vampires, draining the lifeblood of their own people, drop by bitter drop. Nkrumah was selfless. Those others who are being forced down our throats today as co-founders were of the same selfish stock we see in power today. Nkrumah said, "Independence now." What did they say? Independence, yes, but in the shortest possible time. Independence for them would only be good if it came at a time when they would take over and, so to speak, continue now as the new colonizers to rob their people blind. Why are we so wicked to our fellow man? Go around even urban Accra and look at the squalor in which people live. Look at the sort of ramshackle housing we have. Yet another government puts up a project in Saglemi and we deliberately let it deteriorate so we can sell it off cheap, forgetting that the poor cocoa seller's taxes, the indirect taxes that hit even that beggar when he bought phone credits, the taxes mopped up from the charcoal seller and the hawker at the Kwame Nkrumah interchange area who earns his bread day by day are those that built the edifice. Was it tainted with corruption? Overpriced? Was there anything shady about it? Me, I no bore. Deal with those who committed those atrocities, but ensure the edifice benefits the ordinary people at least, so it doesn't become a complete waste. But no, because of shallow, myopic, self-centered thinking, we have to let it all come down to what we see now, a sad spectacle. And even worse, we then come to say we are going to put up yet another affordable housing unit in Pokwase. Affordable to whom? At what cost? How many Ghanaians have family members and renowned architects and funeral donors like Cecilia Dapa does, who can come up with millions of cedis and dollars and euros? How many? These misleaders, These misleaders have got it really cheap in Ghana because when all this idiocy is done, you will find even some ignorant, miseducated, unpatriotic, equally selfish fools coming to defend such arrant nonsense. Let me tell you something. Stupidity and nonsense under the NDC was stupidity and nonsense then, and it is same now. So too, incompetence under the MPP then and now are just that. Don't mince words. Why we keep pretending black is white baffles me. But if we keep acting like this, misfortune will soon catch up with us. Nkrumah, from some documents I have seen from the First Republic of Ghana, put up 17,132 houses nationwide. And that excludes then those in the 10 communities in Tema, the 9,631 1- and 2-bedroom rentable facilities, and the 7,501 3- to 5-bedroom buildings that Ghanaians could procure on higher purchase terms. Just look at those numbers. Some other day, when I can squeeze in a bit more time, I shall give you a breakdown of the specific numbers and the housing units in Asawase, Suntresu North and South, Obuase, Takwa, Bibiani, Akemodan, Koforidia, Kanda, KJB, Jasik and Salt Pond, Cape Coast, Fantia Boso, Osu New Side, Bolgatanga, Tamale, South Labadi, Kolegono, Kaneshi 1 and 2, Chapel Hill, East Christianborg, North Laboni, Latebiokoshi, among so many places I could exhaust a full hour mentioning to you. And look at us today. Did we go or did we come? The Osajefo Kwame Nkrumah did not allocate even one of these houses to himself. Rather, he donated his Peduase Lodge to Ghana, to all of us, as an act of unerring love, as a gift to his dear country for official use as a presidential lodge. Today, these misleaders retreat to that same venue every now and then with no shame. I listened to Mr. President recently when he spoke of Niger and what is happening there. What did I hear? Grave concern, discomfort, anxiety. I even smelled a bit of fear. Yes, fear. But why will you not be afraid when you make regime security your sole focus and ignore human security needs, pretending here and there? Economic rights are thrown to the dogs, yet you want to be able to sleep at night and break what ate again. That is nonsense. Let's break the nonsense. Let's break the misrule. After you've done that, the people can go on a voting autopilot exercise because we can trust you to steer our affairs. But when even Galamsey has done to us what it has, and you come back and say, we want to break the 8, then it must be that you take ordinary Ghanaians for the biggest of fools, at whom you can merely pull the ethnic and the party card and win an election. But we are getting wiser by the day. And like the monkey that says, Bibien to meme, your cups will be full sooner rather than later. You claim your administration has created so many jobs, yet where are the returns? Why the unemployment bulge, which is at its height? I spoke to a friend of mine who has worked for many years in Burkina Faso and other African countries, and who recently got another major appointment and moved to Lagos, Nigeria. Thanks to his job outside Ghana, which pays him very well, he's building a house somewhere here in Accra. And when I say well-paying, it's because what he does is one of those few jobs where even here in Ghana, if you contract people to do that for you at an event, you'd have to pay in dollars or other hard currency or its equivalent. So don't get me wrong. He's not been to the site where the house is being put up, partly because he's out of Ghana for most parts of the year. And he only lets someone inspect the place and tidy up from time to time. Recently, when he came to Ghana right before taking up his appointment in Lagos, he went there and found to his absolute horror that all the wiring that had been done on the near-completed house had been stolen. We're talking of cost of wiring and workmanship hovering around 80,000 Ghana cedis. Gone. The youth have no jobs. So they will risk their lives to do wicked things like that. I'm not justifying what they did. But what I am saying that when you push people to the wall, they either crumble and die or find a way of breaking through the wall, employing tactics legal or illegal alike. The Osajefo Kwame Nkrumah did his absolute best for Ghana. Can these misleaders today beat their chests and say in all honesty that they are doing same? If we could see the loot that many, not all of them, but many, have stashed away, we would be shell-shocked. But like we say here, every day for thief man, one day for master. The master's day will surely come at some point, whether here or in the afterlife. But come it will. My heart bleeds for Ghana and what has become of it. My heart bleeds for the teeming youth with all their creative energies, yet with nothing to do by way of work in this suffocating, nepotistic, and cronyistic economy. Now we hear, Dr. Amin Adam saying the IPPs can either accept government haircut or forfeit their money altogether. Wow. Okafuo Didi Ampa. Ahomaswa 24/7. We hear this stubborn proud. Share. Momo nse mama MPP wate. Mumpene omwe. Ayo. Eba. Neyo. Nkrumah never dies. Ghana will not perish. Ghana will live on. From the ashes of misleadership will arise the phoenix of a much better Ghana someday. Before I proceed, let me just come to what Dr. Amin Adam has been saying before I wrap this morning. If you look at the second round of the DDEP, and I'll be going very quickly on this, it's going to cover energy sector independent power producers, cocoa bills, and they have resisted this fiercely. They say they are not going to partake in it. And that is what we heard. Now, Dr. Amin Adam says, you either accept it or maybe risk losing everything. Okay, let's see how that pans out. Cocoa bills, local US dollar denominated bonds, and the Bank of Ghana non-tradable debt. Let's go to the next slide. Now, taking a haircut. Government says it is unable to pay energy sector debt. Restructuring is necessary. The IPPs are not unique and must undergo debt restructuring. I see. You've forgotten the contract you had with them. Next slide. But Elik Plim Kwablan Apetogbo, Chief Executive of the Chamber of Independent Power Producers, this is what he says. IPP has made its position emphatically with regard to the debt restructuring that we are not open to that. We are open to a discussion that focuses on the payment plan of our arrears. Next slide. And then we come to other business. Ken Oforiatta, our finance minister, we have turned the corner. Which of them? Which corner have we turned? Next slide. Then you look at our budget projections versus mid-year revisions, and it makes for a sad story. Imagine this being the script of your child in school. WASI. Overall real GDP, 2.8%. Revised budget, 1.5%. Inflation target, 18.9%, 31.3%. Gross international reserves, not less than 3.3 months cover. That's where we are, 0.8 months cover. Primary balance, 0.7% of the surplus. We are 0.5% deficit. And expenditure allocation, 227.7 billion, 206 billion. Next slide. Now, if you look at the divisions in terms of the score, end December inflation rate, deviated. So, clear score there, F9. F, fail. Gross international reserves, 67.5%. Favorable, B3. Overall real GDP growth, 53.44, C6. It's okay still. Total expenditure commitment basis, F9. Non-oil real GDP growth, there it is. And then you come to crucial areas like primary balance on commitment basis. We deviated. Overall budget deficit, that one is like a song we keep singing. Overall budget deficit, cash basis, also deviated. 3 F9s. If you have a student, with the exception of total revenue and grants here, that A1, it will not get you into any institution in Ghana with 1, 2, 3, 4 F9s. Your aggregate will be 32. 4 F9s. And this is what we are turning the corner with. Next slide. In terms of our National Affordable Housing Program, I've spoken to you about it and what Nkrumah did and the nonsense we are displaying now. Regime after regime. I'm not just talking about the MPP now. The thing we've been doing with this affordable housing, it's so shocking. And now you leave Saklemi and you say you are going to Pokwase. God be with you. It entails the construction of 14,000 housing units, 8,000 units in the Greater Accra region, and 6,000 in the Ashanti region. The project infrastructure will cost government $47 million, while the private entities take the rest of the cost. Ghana 4. And then we hear from Francis Asenso-Boakye, Minister for Works and Housing. It will cost $140 million to make the Saglemi housing project habitable. When you leave it for the time you did, and it becomes what it has become, why would it not cost you that much money? But the private developer can take care of it, right? The project lacked proper feasibility studies. I see. Saglemi should be completed by private entities who have, fine. It is my prayer that with the Pokwase one, all these things are in there, because if they are not, you will have a very hard time. As I wrap, I want to give you hope. You see, like Rocky Dawuni shares in his song, I've been listening to it throughout this morning. Even my production team has been listening to it. I may not sound like Rocky, but I picked a few words from the start, the middle, just in there. When he says, time now for jubilation. Oh God, I wish I had an answer. 'Cause in sweet love, our spirits will grow. So brothers, be jamming. Yes, we be jamming. We'll be jamming till they're hiding. Oppressor man running while we're jumping. We'll be jamming today. So say it's love from Rasta in Ghana. We're stopping all the suffering in Ghana. I say it's love from Africa in Ghana. Jaja seals and signs and delivers. Take heart, my people. I know you are knocking on the doors of despondency and hopelessness. But I want to leave you with this quote by Pittacus Law, who says, when you have lost hope, you have lost everything. And when you think all is lost, when all is dire and bleak, there is always hope. Let us pray that God raises our flag the red, the gold, and the green, and that we become indeed that black yet brightly shining star of Africa and the whole world. I wish you all, Ghana, for a happy Founders Day with an apostrophe S. My name is Benjamin Akako, and these are my blunt thoughts shared with you, raw, hot, unedited, undiluted. God richly bless our homeland Ghana and make her great and strong.